Yo, peace. Indra Lee back in the building. Like to welcome everyone that's watching this live stream. I appreciate you immensely. To the replay game, I appreciate you as well. And also, I want to shout out to everyone who left a comment on my last video talking about confirmations, the real truth or real meaning about confirmations. In that video, I asked my people, my people, to leave me a comment, let me know how long you've been rocking with me, and got a lot of people commenting. So I didn't go and reply to everybody, but just know that I read most of everyone's comments. So I appreciate you for letting me know how long you've been rocking out with me and stuff like that. So today I have a very quick message. I don't want to be on here that long, but I like coming on here on Monday, especially live with the energy, just because I know a lot of people dread Monday. I get it, yo. I know a lot of people don't look forward to Monday, especially if you have a 9 to 5 or if you have a job you have to go to, or just don't like Monday based on the social condition of humanity. You feel me? A lot of people have you feel like that. Oh, it's Monday. Oh man, it's dreadful. Thank God it's Friday, and curse the devil out is Monday, I guess would be the add-on to that. So I like coming on here on Monday as straight non-GMO. Like I said, I thought about coming on here probably about an hour before I posted it. So I don't want to commit to y'all that I'll be here every Monday, but I like coming on here on Monday. I think it gives you a nice little shot in the arm. So I'm assuming I can be heard. Put some nines in the chat box, my moderators, and shout out to y'all, my moderators. Feel free to leave your contact information, Janae and Shanika. And obviously, y'all need to connect with them. They're good people, good goddesses. So I know there's a slight delay, but I just want to get a confirmation that I can be seen and heard before I go in. Okay, cool. We good. I don't need any more. So I know you see the title. It's saying, why not you? 2 self-mastery lessons that you can learn from the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to say off the bat, you do not have to be a Bengals fan to receive this information. Just let me put that all the way out there. You do not have to be a Bengals fan to receive the information. In fact, I'm not a Bengals fan. I literally live 20 minutes from Cincinnati. I live in between Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio. Literally, I can get to the Bengals Stadium probably about a half hour if traffic's not stupid. You feel me? And I am no means a Bengals fan. Do you want even better? Truth be told, I don't watch that much football anymore. Shout out to everybody on my email list. You're going to receive an email today with the same title, Why Not You? And on there, I explained to you that I really haven't been watching football like that. So, but it's the thing about the playoffs that resonate. You feel me? Like I played football all the way up to the college level. I'm a proud college dropout, but I did play football 1 year. So football is in my blood. I grew up playing football my whole life. But the older I get, it has less appeal to me. If you know anything about me, I don't do things just to be doing it. So I'm not going to watch football just so I can be manly or know what's going on. I can care less about that. That's weird to me. So I said all of that to say you don't have to be a football fan. You damn sure don't have to be a Bengals fan to get the message that I want to share with you. And as a lifelong Ohioan, I lived in Kentucky for a year. That's where I went to school. But I've been a lifelong Ohio resident, born and raised. This is my stomping ground, OH10 all day. If you're in the chat watching this or watching this on a playback, so put the OH10 in the chat. Let me know that you rock out or that you reside in Ohio. But as a lifelong Ohioan, obviously I know what's going on with the Bengals. You know, they have been horrible for mad years, yo. For the greater part of my life, they have been horrible. The last time I recall Cincinnati being good was in the 6th grade when they had Icky Woods doing an Icky Woods shuffle and stuff like that. Because I remember in 6th grade, and the reason I remember is in 6th grade, everybody had to get out the classroom and everybody went in the hallway and they were doing the Icky shuffle. The big thing that the Bengals were saying then was who they think they're going to beat those Bengals. You feel me? That was their mantra back then. Now, if you look at it, New Orleans took a who they and they turned it to, damn, what's New Orleans Saints? They little catchphrase or whatever. That was, in my opinion, Swagger Jack from the Bengals. You feel me? So ever since I can remember, being an adult, being a young adult, older teenager, the Bengals have always sucked, yo. They have never been good. So when I watched the playoff game this past Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago, when they played hold on, I got it pulled up. When they played the Raiders, and they were an underdog, they weren't supposed to win. The Raiders supposed to win, they were the favorite and stuff like that. And I couldn't help but watch the Bengals and be like, hey, yo, something is different. Something is vastly different with this team. So after watching the game of this past Saturday, so I watched 2 playoff games of the Bengals, and they won both games very impressively. And like I said, it was something different with this team. So when I noticed that, and my spirit told me the 2 things that I noticed that anybody can start to implement onto their spiritual path or self-mastery, I felt incumbent. It was incumbent upon me to share it with my people. Y'all know if I get something, I'm going to share with you. So I want to share 2 things that I picked up, 2 signs, 2 tips that you can implement today on your spiritual path. And it's inspired by the Cincinnati Bengals. I can't believe I'm saying it's inspired by the Bengals. I'm telling you, if you don't know anything about football, these cats has not been good for the most part. So one of the things that was blatantly obvious with the Bengals is they have switched their personnel tremendously. And it started at the top. Marvin Lewis, and once again, you don't have to know anything about football, but Marvin Lewis used to be their coach. And having psychic ability, the ability to read people, I can tell that he wasn't, I'm not going to say a good leader. He was just kind of, I gotta say this, he was soft. From what I can tell, he was soft. Pardon me if, you know what I mean, you watching this Marvin Lewis, or if you're a diehard Marvin Lewis fan, to me, he just seemed kind of soft. Let me paint it like this, and this is for people that grew up in a neighborhood. If you grow up in a neighborhood and you see somebody, say you walking down the block and you come across some cats on the corner. I don't know if people hang out on the corner still, but back when I was younger, people hung out on the corner. That was like a big thing. So say that you're walking on the block and you're coming across a group of thugs or a group of cats on the corner. And, you know, if they see and sense that you're soft, you're going to be an easy target. Anybody that grew up in the neighborhood, you know you can't be soft. Even if you're a good old boy or you don't even come out the crib like that, you still have to hold yourself as a man. You still have to hold yourself like, hey, it's going to be a tough day if you pick a fight with me. I'm not going to just give you my money. You feel me? I grew up in a smaller city, less than 50,000 people. I can tell you for sure the drug dealers or the hustlers who get robbed repeatedly or used to get robbed repeatedly. They had a reputation for not standing up for themselves. So I say that to say, you can sense when somebody isn't about that. You can sense when somebody's an easy target or AKA a little soft. So when I viewed the old management, the old coach, they didn't seem like it didn't. As a football player, ex-football player, I had coaches where you'll run through a wall. They can hype you up to the point where you feel like you can run through a wall. I didn't get that from the old coaching. So the first thing I noticed was their coaching is different. And that ties over to the team. They have a new quarterback. I didn't recognize the team. Literally, I haven't watched the Bengals for a few years, so I didn't recognize the team. So when you see that they had new quarterback, Burrows is a beast. He is dumb nice. They got this wide receiver, Chase, young cat or whatever. And just the different parts, it just looks like they're confident. It looks like they're all on the same page. It looks like they're following the direction from their coach and they're following the leadership of their quarterback. So the first tip or the first thing that I recommend that you do is evaluate your team. So one of the first thing you can take away from the Bengals that you can implement on your spiritual path and your path of self-mastery is, what team do you have? Teamwork makes the dream work. If you're around 3 billionaires, then you'll be the 4th billionaire. If 4 people in your circle are hard body on the altar, you're going to be the 5th person doing the altar. If you're around 6 people and they have their own business, you're going to be a 7th person that have your business. Who are around you? Who's your quarterback? And when I say your quarterback, who is your partner? Who is your wife / girlfriend / husband / spouse, partner? Who do you have in your corner? When you do your meditation and do your spiritual practices, are they talking down on you and making you feel some type of way? When you go do magic, are they looking at like, oh, why are you doing that? You so stupid. You ain't gonna manifest nothing. You got people in your ear nagging you. You trying to do your thug thizzle and they trying to thwart you off your path. Then obviously they're not good team members. The people that are around you should support you. I'm not saying that they should be right there with you doing it, but they should support you. And by supporting you, that means not disabling you. They should enable you to do something. You know, I shared with one of my accelerator members. He had, I think he's in here right now, but he said his wife and him really aren't on the same page as far as spiritual growth. He's on his path toward body, but she's not. And what I told him was, it's fine. Could you meet a person, especially a significant other, and they may know you one way? You feel me? Like, say you meet your whiz or your king in church. Like, you literally met them in church. Say you're with them, and after a couple years, you're like, you know what? I'm done with the church. You take more of a spiritual route. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to look at you like, man, you are different. What happened to you? They're going to be flabbergasted. What are you talking about? Altars and deities and elementals and doing magic. What about Jesus? You feel me? Because you're changing. But if they allow you to be you and do you, and then in my opinion, they're still enabling you or allowing you to do you. The difference is when you share with your partner that I'm going to do something differently or I'm going to approach my spirituality differently, and they start talking down on you or making you feel some type of way, or you doing your altar work and they're taking the food off your altar, or you're doing magic and they're moving your magical supplies, they're just totally disrespecting your stuff, then that person is not in alignment with you. They're not complimenting you on your path. I don't care if you're the spouse, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your children, your best friend. I don't care who it is. If they're trying to prevent you from doing your path, going down your lane, then they're not part of your family. I don't care if they're your blood. People that love you and support you want to see you flourish and grow. And what I always tell people, once they see that light grow, they'll never stop you from doing you. In fact, they'll start asking you about certain things. There's people in my family, friends, people I know that once they started seeing my growth, they ask me more questions. They don't tell me I have never had someone in my family tell me I need to go to church. Never. The person I consider my father figure is a preacher. I seen him a couple weeks ago. He didn't tell me I need to come to church. You know what he said? Good talking to you, Ali. Good. It's always good seeing you, nephew. Something. We just building, yo. Just talking. Because we respect each other. He sees I'm growing. He knew me since I was a little kid. So he sees me growing, so he's going to let me do me. So if you have people in your circle that aren't supporting your spiritual goals and aspirations, then in my opinion, you need to cut the fat or love them from a distance. I'd rather be by myself than be around fake people. And I get it. This path seems very lonely. It seems like nobody's with you. Seems like no one supports you. But once you really take the ideal that this is my path, I'm the master of my path, and you start to grow and you start to move towards your ultimate goal of enlightenment or freedom or sovereignty or whatever your goal is on the spiritual path, once you start to walk it, guess what? You'll see a person over there sitting down on the bench. You'll see a person over there in the house. Think about Forrest Gump in that movie. He started running. Like my man started running. What happened when Forrest Gump started running, yo? What happened when Forrest Gump started running? People started running with him. You feel me? It's all about motion Emotion is what's going to attract things for you. Potential energy and kinetic energy, two different things. If you don't know, look it up. You feel me? Another example, if you don't like Forrest Gump, like, hold on, brother, how you going to use an example like Forrest Gump? I know some of you get touchy if I use frame of references that don't mesh well with your culture. Malcolm X, El Hajj Malik Shabazz, peace and blessing be upon the God. Malcolm X, when he started walking, when they took my man and beat him, when the police took him and beat my man or whatever and put him in the clink, what did Malcolm X do? He went down there and demanded to see brother, whatever his name was. And then when he seen him and they took him to the hospital, he said, that's not good enough. So what did he do? He started walking to the hospital. And what did people do? They walked with him. That's what they did. Go watch the movie. It's energy. Once people see you doing something, they will follow you. But the reason no one follows you because they don't see you doing a damn thing. If I didn't get on here on YouTube and share my path, because I'm telling you, I'm not doing anything that's deep or that's profound, in my opinion. I'm literally sharing things that I've seen work for myself. I'm only sharing my experience, and people happen to resonate with it, and that's fine. And people hear my experience, they say that's dumb. Guess what? That's fine. Neither party to me doesn't affect the way I sleep at night. But a lot of you are wanting people to follow you, but you don't even follow your damn self. Quote that and message that, tag me, do something about that. A lot of you want people to follow you, but you don't even follow your damn self. You don't believe what you say. I noticed the difference between belief and knowing. When I went from belief to knowing, I stopped trying to prove to people what they should be doing. When I went from believing that I was a God, believing that energy was everything, believing, that there's more than one heaven, that you can make it. When I stopped believing these things and knew it, that's when I stopped trying to prove to other people whatever I was trying to tell them before, yo. It's very simple. You want to be the change you want to see in the world, then just be the change. You want to change the world, be the change. They tell you all these silly things. I don't want to belabor the point. So the first thing that I recommend is evaluate your team. Who is on your team? Start to get some free agents. You feel me? Join a community. Like one of the things I'm starting to bear witness to as far as my Spiritual Mastery Accelerator is that more people resonate with it for the community. With me being somewhat of a loner and somebody that keeps a very small circle, you can't even call my circle a circle. You feel me? That's how small it is. But since I'm like that, I figured that most people were like that on the spiritual path. What I realized is people want a community. Like I really, call me an idiot. Maybe I was totally oblivious, but I really didn't view it that way. But the Spiritual Master Accelerator, I need to share more that it's a community. When we have our webcast tonight, there's going to be people that have a familiar face. There are people I've grown to know and love because I see them all the time. You feel me? I don't want to start naming names. I don't want to leave anyone out and make them not feel special. But when you have a community, when you have people that support you, I've always had that, so I never felt the lack of that. But I know a lot of you do. Spiritual Mastery Accelerator. Go to spiritualaccelerator.com. I'm going to put it up. I promise you, that's the best community I know of. You know what I mean? I talk to the people. They tell me like, yo, this is helping me, with XYZ. So if you feel like you need something like that, definitely check that out. Also, go to Facebook. Join a Facebook group. That's free. My program it costs money. But I'm not going to tell you that's the only thing that you can do. Go to Facebook and join a Facebook group. And not join 20 Facebook groups and be sporadic. Join one that resonates with you. Join one when you go in there, you feel a certain way. You feel like that you're at home. That's how you know you met your soul group, your kindred spirits. You feel familiar. That's why it's called family. Family is the derivative of familiar. But a lot of your family don't feel familiar, so go out and find you a new family. You call it a spiritual family. So that's the two things I recommend. But the punchline of that is evaluate your team. Make sure you have a very supportive team around you. All right. So hopefully that part makes sense. I'm going to give y'all the second thing that I found. Or the second thing that I took away from the Bengals winning their first playoff game in 31 years, yo. Just think about that. In 31 years, they literally have not won a playoff game. And they just won their second playoff game and they're one game away from making the Super Bowl. And this is in no way, shape, or form me predicting that they're going to win or, to be honest, I really don't think they're going to win. I got to really see it to believe it. But it's not me endorsing them. I just know that we can extrapolate a lesson, or at least y'all can extrapolate a lesson from the Bengals. So the second one is what do you believe? What is your self-talk? What is your dialogue going on? When you listen to the Bengals, their mantra is, why not us? So they have the staff in place. They have the team. They believe in each other. They built a community. They built a family, more importantly. Now they believe in themselves. They believe they have the parts in place in order to make it happen. So the next question is, why not us? The Patriots have won Super Bowls. The Buccaneers have won a Super Bowl. Why not us? That's the mantra they're chanting. And when I heard it, I was like, dang, that's empowering. You can see that they believe in that. Right now, your personal mantra is, I'm not good enough. Oh, I don't have enough money. Or I'm not as spiritual as Ali. I'm not as spiritual as Dr. Gibson. Why can't I get to manifest like the person on Facebook and Instagram? The person I'm following on Instagram is always sharing their abundant stories. That's because that's what they're showing you. What they're not showing you is their insecurities. You're following people and looking up to people that may have more insecurities and be worse off than you are. But I digress. What stories, what things are you telling yourself? What mantra is being repeated in your mind? When you go to work or you're like, man, this is a dead-end job. This is a dead-end job. That's all you tell yourself. Instead of appreciating that damn check that you get. Because you listen to people and they make you feel some type of way for having a job. So now you're going to your job mad that you're there. That's stupid. I was a spiritual teacher, had people across the world looking up to me, and I went and drove a semi-truck. As a teacher, with people literally call me a master, I still drove a truck and I was happy that I had a safe way to make money until I feel like I didn't need that job anymore. But right now, you're in the positions where you're telling yourself certain things that you are believing and is lowering your vibration and making you feel less than. I'm sick and tired of seeing people feel like they're not powerful or they're less than. Obviously, your melanin isn't good enough. I'm seeing a lot of brown people with low self-esteem. And I'm seeing people that are opposite feeling good way about themselves. I'm not saying every melanated person feel like that and every not saying that. I'm just saying if it's just a pineal, if it's just melanin, if it's just your chakras being open, then why are you not feeling good about yourself? Evaluate your self-dialogue. What is going on between your ears? You're probably repeating things that your parents were telling you. That you weren't good enough. You're going to be like your dad. You need to get out the house. You don't contribute. You're lazy. You're fat. All these things that your parents tell you, you're starting to repeat that on a loop yourself. So you want to evaluate what is your mantra? What is the dialogue that you're telling yourself repeatedly? You feel me? So change the people around you. They say if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. I love practicing love from a distance. I will cut somebody off in a heartbeat. And it's not me being cruel. My job is to protect my energy. And if you're around my aura and bringing ill will to me, I'll wash my hands out. I don't care if I came out your vagina. That's how real, or if I'm going in your vagina. You feel me? That's a bar. Doesn't matter. If you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. If they're not supporting you, get rid of them. Get a new team. Come holler at us, spiritualaccelerator.com. Go to a Facebook group. Go to meetups. Do something. Second thing, what is your self-dialogue? What is the mantras you're repeating to yourself over and over and over? I'm not good enough. I'm not spiritual. I'm too black. I'm too white. I'm too fat. What are you telling yourself? That's what self-awareness is. Self-awareness is self-awareness is probably the most important thing on earth. I said it. Self-awareness is probably the most important thing on earth. You feel me? So how self-aware are you? Are you aware of the dialogue you keep telling yourself? All right. So those are my two takeaways from the Bengals. Shout out to the Bengals, yo. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna hold you, yo. Like, it feels good to seeing the Bengals win. You feel me? But I appreciate everybody for coming through this live. Let me see if I got any comments. People saying teach, let's go. Great info. Appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not coming on here trying to sound cool or trying to be nothing, yo. I'm literally just want to be a service to y'all. Like, once again, I came back as full force as I have because I'm seeing a lack of sincerity and authenticity. Y'all are following people that are fugazi, man. And I cannot I can't sit on my hands and watch people play y'all, man. I can't. There's a quote by, I forget the dude's name, but he said, to see fraud and not say fraud, you are a fraud. Basically, if you see wrongdoing and you don't say nothing or do anything, then you're part of the problem. You feel me? That's why it is Black Lives Matter was so huge. Not for melanated people. I know my life matter. And I'm not saying that thing is a quote unquote good thing or is ran by people that care. I'm not saying none of that. But what I'm saying is there's certain people on this planet that need to realize that just because you look like I do doesn't mean you're less than. I matter. I don't need to know that. The people who thought I didn't matter need to know that. So it's them, and I gotta applaud those people who don't look like me for taking accountability, because they're saying what I'm saying. If you see fraud and not say fraud, then you're a fraud. So me, as someone who has helped people grow spiritual or help people find their spiritual lane, then it's incumbent upon me to stand up and say, hey, yo, I'm not standing for this. That's not the way spirituality was done by our ancestors. It was each one teach one, show and prove. And if I see people misleading people, I'm pulling skirts. It's bullcrap, in my opinion, and y'all deserve better. So my only point of coming here is to inspire y'all. So hopefully I've done that. And I don't see any pertinent questions or anything popping off. So until next time, y'all, peace.